did you decide that you wanted to get into this business?
Well, I grew up in the nursery landscaping garden center business in Ohio, and I just loved it. You know, tractors and different pieces of equipment and so on when you're a kid, and it was very, very enjoyable. And then when I was in college, I tried to switch majors over to psychology, and I just missed the great outdoors and the industry, and so I ended up back in it again. How about you?
About the same thing. I didn't grow up in the business, but being in the corporate world, being inside all day long, and had the opportunity to get an office outside, and so I decided to capitalize on that. I think people like to use the exterior of their house as to give an example of what's on the inside. Not everybody's going to come into your house, but a lot of people can drive by your house.
We put a lot of effort into finding great people and training them and so on. And we train them to interact with the customers, give them great personal service, get to know them, care about their properties, observe things beyond the lawn care of the properties. And we kind of make them into self-employed individuals, and it works out great. It's been like magic.
Sophistication is a big word. I think 30 years of experience being in the industry, it's the timing and the combination. And I think we've learned that over the period of time, that using the different products that are available to our best advantage.
I was transferred here over 30 years ago by the largest lawn, tree, and shrub care company. And I loved it. I just wanted to stay here. I love the city, I love the people, I love Southerners. And it's just a perfect climate, and I don't think you can ask for anything more.
Hey Dick, when you were a technician, what was one of the craziest things that ever happened to you?
Well, I was pulling the hose into someone's backyard over in Dunwoody, and they had a pool. And the hose had a knot in it. It got caught on the top of the chain link fence. And I was over by the pool, and I kind of lost my temper. And I pulled around the pool and down, and the knot would not come through the fence. And it got to be like a rubber band. And this was in the fall, mind you, like in the first thing in the morning, colder and blue blazes. And that rubber band hose pulled me into the pool. So I got a complete and total dunking and had to finish out the day soaking wet. What about you?
Well, the funniest thing that ever happened to me is when we were aerating a yard one year, and the customer had a very vicious acting dog, but it was on a chain. And I kept telling guys, be careful, the dog might get you. About that time, I caught the chain with the aerator, and it started reeling the dog into me, and the dog got closer and closer. His eyes were about this big. Finally got the machine shut down, got the dog loose. He never barked again. Well, the expense of going and purchasing the product, buying all the equipment to do it with, trying to find out when, calculate out what the label says, those are all things that you're better left with a professional.
We had a customer, actually I've had her from day one, and her husband got ill, very ill, and couldn't work. And we told her not to, she called in and was trying to stop the service and everything. And we said, look, we'll just go ahead with it for however long and until he gets well and so on. And she was so impressed with all of that. She came by about a year later when her husband was well again, and came into the offices and thanked all of us and was in tears and so on. And that's the most meaningful thing I think I've ever had happen with a customer. Tell me, Doug, what is your favorite saying or quote?
I think being in the service business, I learned only expect what you inspect. How about yourself?
I would say that it's the golden rule. Here again in the service business, we want to do unto others as we would have them do unto us.
I think the perfect one would be meeting a customer for the first time and listening to their story and thinking that their lawn is just absolutely hopeless as far as what to do. we can come in and design a treatment program, and in 30 days, customers calling you back and telling you how wonderful their lawn looks. I believe our tree and shrub service, with our weather patterns being like they are now, insects and disease are a lot more prevalent than ever before. And not using this service, the downside is that you can lose plant material, and the cost of it is just much more staggering than a piece of lawn here or there.
Oh, I think it's a blast. I think it's so much fun to see things grow. It's like growing nursery stock, except you're growing people and you're developing people and so on, and you're moving into new cities, and then you put those people in there and you see them and they're transforming these properties, and it's, I don't know, it's just the entrepreneur in me, I guess.